And we're back after, Chris was on holiday after our anniversary stream. And we had some technical issues last week, so, apologies. But we are back now, fortnightly again. Chris, how are you doing, and how did you find our anniversary stream?
I am good, thank you. And I loved it, actually. It was really good to have people engaging.
It was, man. It was cool.
Live. Surprised of the outcome. It was more people than I thought.
It was more people than I thought, and I think a lot of people suggested we do it more regularly live, and I think we will. Maybe every couple of months or so.
Yeah,
sounds good. Yeah, check out a live stream. It was really good fun, and thank you to everyone who participated and sent comments and all of that good stuff. But today we're back, and since it's been a while, we're going to have a little catch-up on what we've been playing and doing. So, Chris, what have you been up to? What have you been playing, buddy?
Well, as you were talking about it before, so I started up Star Wars Squadrons.
Yes, Star Wars Squadrons. And how are you finding it? Because I picked up Star Wars Squadrons. It was going really cheap on Steam quite a while ago now. And I really, really enjoyed it. But first, let's get your thoughts on it. What are your initial impressions? Because you've been playing it for like a week or so now, a couple of weeks?
Yeah, about a week or so. I'm getting better because I struggled with the spatial awareness in 3D. With obviously you can go not 3D, like 360
upside down and all around, and all that good stuff.
I struggled with that at the beginning, and the battle would be going on, and I'd chase down and destroy a fighter, and then I'd be looking around like, where's all the other spaceships? And it turned out like I'm at the bottom of the map, upside down, so the other end to where the battle is.
It's funny because I've played so many space sims over the years, like as a kid, all the way through to adulthood. So I'm kind of used to that now. But you're right, it is really confusing when you're in that full 3D space. Because obviously, in a first-person shooter, you're grounded, right? So it's not you don't turn around and spin around like that. So I can imagine it's a bit confusing at first,
especially on some of the missions where there's no planet in the distance or below you. So that's
if there's a big station or something, you know where you are.
Yeah, for reference.
Yeah,
but it was one of the battles. It was just out in space, and it was just bits of debris. But it kind of looked the same, so I wasn't sure what way up I was.
Yeah.
So I was just flying around upside down, at the bottom of the map, going, where the hell is everyone?
Yeah, I can imagine. I get that. So how are you finding the game, though, now that you're used to that?
I'm loving it, obviously, because I was looking for, a flying game.
You were, because you were after Ace Combat for a while, but it kept, you kept missing the sale, and then, or not having the money when the sale came around. So finally, I think this came free, didn't it, on the network?
Yes. Yeah, it came free on the PlayStation Store, one of the monthly games.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was amazing. Because I saw it, and I was like, ooh, Durs talked about that. So I was like, right, download, play instantly.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm a big fan of the old LucasArts games from back in the day. X-Wing was one of the first PC games I owned, and TIE Fighter I still think is the greatest space sim ever made. I absolutely, maybe that and Elite, but TIE Fighter was amazing. I loved those old LucasArts simulators, and this one is kind of somewhere between the simulations and Rogue Squadron. The Rogue Squadron games, they've kind of combined the two, so it's arcadey, but it's still got some of that simulator stuff. So you've still got to manage your power supply between lasers, shields, and all of that stuff. Deal with repairs and stuff. It's really good fun, and it just looks gorgeous. Seeing the Star Wars universe in that much detail, and the cockpit in that kind of detail is just so awesome, man.
Yeah, obviously when I took a day or so break for it, coming back, it took me about an hour or so to get my head back on the controls. But yeah, I love Star Wars games. We did a episode on Star Wars, didn't we? We
did. Obviously, I think everyone knows your love of Bounty Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
And your love of Lego Star Wars. But you're a huge Star Wars fan anyway, right?
I am. I actually started rewatching the films. So I'm going to do them in order. I've watched episode 1, but then I forgot that we cancelled our Disney Plus.
Oh, so that's where that stopped.
Yeah, but with the Squadrons, obviously my first experience with flying a spaceship in a Star Wars game was I think it was the original Battlefront.
Yeah, Battlefront 1. I think that had space. It was like maybe it was Battlefront 1 or Battlefront 2? One of the two.
Battlefront 2 had the actual space battles, but in Battlefront 1 you could find like spacecraft and you could just fly around like above the map.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it wasn't like flying
In
a lot
space.
more space battles.
Yeah.
It's more of just being air support really.
Yeah, and those were all on like a plane anyway, weren't they? So you couldn't go anywhere like you can with these.
Brilliant game though.
Oh man, well we've talked at length about we're not talking about the new Battlefront games. We're talking about the first ones on PlayStation 2. Those games were so good. I mean, Battlefront 2 I still think is just perfection in terms of that kind of game. So much fun to be had still in that PS2 Battlefront 2 game. It's amazing.
Definitely. Can you get them like on Steam and stuff? I suppose you could.
Yes,
maybe.
you can. So when you have your PC, we'll do it.
Yeah,
we'll do an Icon stream playing Battlefront 2.
Yeah, well, work got pushed back, so I start this Monday.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
Had the week to play some games, and starting next Monday. So,
have you played much of the story of Squadrons yet?
I've been exclusively playing the story. I haven't played the online yet.
How are you finding the story itself? Because I've started it, and I think it's quite interesting so far. I like it. I'm not. Go on. You might be about to say what.
I'm not too far into it. But, obviously, that's why I haven't jumped into multiplayer yet, because I'm still a bit of a noob on the controls. Mm-hmm. But I'm enjoying it so far. It's got a good storyline to it.
Yeah.
It's fun to have an objective and like fend or attack something.
Definitely.
Stealing a Star Destroyer was fun. I didn't get to pilot it though.
No. It's very much a fighter level game. You don't no capital ship piloting. It's all it's all the fighters.
Flown an X-wing? I think flown an
TIE fighter.
E-wing. Well,
you start with the TIE fighter as well, don't you? Yeah. Yeah,
TIE fighter and like a TIE fighter destroyer kind of thing.
The bomber, TIE bomber.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And apparently there is more ships that will be added later on. Like as you progress, you have to use different ones for different levels. So
I'm pretty sure you can pilot the Y wings and the B wings as well. And I think the TIE Advance, I would imagine. I think the TIE Advance is actually in the trailer as well.
The Interceptors.
Sorry, the Interceptor, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I flew one, it was kind of like the TIE Bomber kind of thing. Like, it was sort of flat and wide. And,
the bombers, yeah. I used to pilot those in the original TIE Fighter as well. They're a lot more tough, but they're not as maneuverable.
Yeah. TIE Fighters are very maneuverable. Because when I went from TIE Fighter to X-Wing, I was like, oh, this is slow and sluggish. Give me my TIE Fighter back.
But that's kind of the point, because the TIE Fighters were always way weaker, but way faster.
Yeah.
I love
the noises as well.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. It's a great experience being in them in that kind of detail. It just looks so cool, you know? It really does.
Oh, definitely.
It really is a lot of fun. I've absolutely loved I think as well. Can you imagine, because this works in VR, and I think in VR this would be so cool.
Oh yeah, that's definitely on my list. When I get a PC, I'm definitely getting a VR headset. There's so many things I want to play.
Yeah, I think this in VR would be stunning, you know.
Yeah, I reckon it'd work well like sitting on, like I've obviously had my swivel gaming chair, sitting there just like spinning.
Yeah, well the good thing is as well, that'll probably help you with spatial awareness when you can look around and see.
Or it makes you feel horribly ill.
I don't know. It may do. I just think, you know, it's kind of ideal for VR as well, because you're seated in one position. So, you know, the experience is the same as if you're in a cockpit, isn't it? You're not standing up or walking around.
Yeah, and obviously with the hand controls, you'd actually have manually look down, press the buttons. It sounds cool. Sounds fun.
It sounds really fun, and it's a really fun game. I really love that. Those I'm sure it'll get boring after a while, but I really love those stages of going through the stages of taking down a capital ship like a Star Destroyer. Really good fun.
Focusing on the shield generators and then on the turrets.
Yeah.
It's
really good fun. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. So I've been putting a lot of time into a few games lately, but one of them is I think I mentioned it to you briefly when we talked last weekend, is Days Gone.
Oh yes,
which was of course a PS4 exclusive, now on PC for the first time, and I heard it wasn't terribly well rated when it came out. Like, people seemed to like it, but it wasn't like amazing or anything. But there's something about that world that I really like the look of. It's a shameless ripoff of Walking Dead. Like, let's get that up front straight
even
away.
Down to the
being Daryl, basically. Yeah. But having said that, and having accepted that I don't think the story is terribly great, it's okay.
It's not great.
The sandbox is so much fun, and the bike mechanics. So you're basically in a zombie apocalypse, and you're basically like Daryl. If you've watched The Walking Dead, that's pretty much who you are. And crossbow and all, and you've basically got your bike, and you just go between settlements doing missions for settlements whilst uncovering the history of what happened and caused this whole zombie epidemic. And I'll tell you what, I love the bike in this game. I didn't think I'd get so attached to the bike as I have, but you've got to manage your bike. You repair it, you make it, because at the start of the game your bike gets stolen, so you get a crappy bike, and then you have to build your bike up. You have to manage the fuel, the damage, and it's so tense. Like, running out of fuel on your bike when there's like a horde of zombies nearby.
The worst.
It's awesome though, so much fun, and I've really enjoyed the stealth mechanics, sneaking around, taking out the nests and stuff. I've really had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun, and I'm surprised at how much I'm enjoying the bike. The bike's kind of its own character in the game. It's great.
The actual sandbox of it, because you discover it in sections, don't you? Like,
yeah, you kind of like you do stuff for certain settlements, and then more settlements kind of come in as the story progresses, and it kind of opens up and opens up.
It's got the same sandbox as Horizon Zero Dawn, because in that you start off at one bit of the map, and then as the levels go on, you go further and further out and explore more of the map.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a good way to do a sandbox.
It
is all open. But you have to progress to get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they used to do that with the old GTA games, didn't they? It was always like, the bridges are broken, so you can't go. So in this is kind of just areas unlock, and it's quite a big map. I mean, I zoomed right out, and the map looks huge. So there's a lot more to go than what I've currently done. But I'm really enjoying it. I love the horde mechanic. It's really tense trying to sneak around a horde. Because they're basically unstoppable when there's enough of them. It's like, oh god, you're screwed if you mess this up. It's fun. I'm not enjoying the flashbacks. I don't care about the story of him and his girlfriend, who is clearly still alive. I'm assuming she's alive anyway. So far, from what I've gathered of the story, I get the feeling she's probably still alive and working for the government or whoever they are. They're in the helicopters. Whenever there's a flashback, I'm like, I just want to get back to the post-apocalypse. But I'm loving the apocalypse, and I'm loving upgrading my bike and all of that good stuff. It's really good. It's really good fun. I highly recommend it for any PC players and any PS4 players. Nick, my housemate, has been playing it on PS4 as well, and he's been having a blast playing it on PS4. So, well worth picking up, especially if you like your open world kind of stuff. It's good
Or
fun.
if you're just into shooting zombies and riding motorbikes.
Well, yeah, that too. And the bike mechanics are really good. Actually, the bike handles really really nicely. It runs out of fuel like comically fast at first, but once you upgrade it, it becomes a lot more reasonable. And it's great. I love the way the bike handles.
Yeah, definitely. And a tip for anyone who does pick it up: if you find fuel and don't need it, put it near the road so you can always find it.
I've put it at the side of the road every time I found it. So what I do now is anytime I come past one, I'll stop and just fuel up. Just even if I only need like a tiny bit of fuel, I'll still do it. Because sometimes you go on those long drives and you've got a long way to go with no fuel on the way. You need like a full tank.
Yeah, full tank or you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, the one time I really ran out of fuel, I was at the top of a hill, and I managed to just push it off the hill and ride it all the way down the hill. And luckily, right at the bottom there was a petrol station, so it was quite handy. But yeah, it's a tense game in places, especially with those hordes.
I do actually like the crafting mechanic. Like when you go to craft, it doesn't stop the game; it kind of slows down a little bit.
Yes, yeah, it's
so you're still under a threat. It's not like pause menu and craft like some games.
No, the game's still going.
You can still get hurt and stuff. So crafting on the go. Make sure pick up everything you can.
Definitely, I would definitely recommend picking up everything you can, and also make sure you do those outposts when you come across them, because you'll get injectors that give you extra health or extra stamina, or accuracy with your weapons. Those are really useful. And my tip for those, if you're playing, is if you climb on top of those buildings, you can disable the speakers. So that because basically when you restore power to these bases, the speakers start blasting out and all the zombie hordes will come at you. So what I've done is I go around and I disable all of the speakers except for one speaker, and I leave that speaker on the other side of the base, so that when I turn things back on, the zombies will go to that speaker, and I make sure that I leave through the other door. And that usually seems to work. Yeah, that usually seems to work for me. So yeah, it's really good fun. But yeah, Days Gone, I highly recommend, man. What else have you been playing, Chris?
Well, there's been a new season has started on Warzone.
Oh yes, Warzone. You're becoming a somewhat of a pro in Warzone now.
Like 5 out of 10 times it's like 50-50. I can the game will either go really good and I'll finish in like the top 5 or really bad.
Oh no. Okay.
But yeah, there's a new season.
So what's in the new season?
The bit of a map's been updated. Like there's crashed satellites which have like loot, ammo and stuff.
Oh, awesome.
There's a new assault rifle, which I haven't found yet, so I'm not sure if it's any good.
Okay.
There's a new LMG, which I have found, and it is like a laser beam. There's hardly any recoil on it, and it's got super high damage.
It's just really OP.
Yeah, and there's... it's in the SMG section, but it's like a nail gun.
Oh, cool.
Which I haven't found that yet either, but I've been killed by it a few times, so I'm assuming it's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's in the trailer, right? They're holding the nail gun at one point. So
yeah, I think so. They've also added there's some red doors hidden about the place.
Okay.
You go through a red door, it like teleports you to a secret room where there's a ton of cash, full body armor, some perks you can pick up, and like a red box which has got like really really good weapons in it.
Oh, cool.
So,
I'm guessing
I found one red door. I'm not sure how many there are.
Right. There's no Megalodon yet, though.
No.
That's such a cool Easter egg.
Aside from Warzone, I have been grinding on the multiplayer, just standard multiplayer, not Warzone.
Yeah.
I'm doing all the camos. I've finally got all gold camos for every marksman rifle.
Wow. Okay.
The last one took me ages because it's the crossbow.
Oh, right.
And trying to get like double kills with a crossbow is quite hard. You can get explosive bolts, but the
That'll
explosion's not very big. And reloading takes an age.
Well, it should do with a crossbow. Crossbows are not quick to reload.
Yeah, I know, but it's in a fast-paced, small map.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Probably get like one kill with the crossbow before you die. So
yeah, and I mean, basically, if you miss, you're dead, right?
Yeah,
because like the reload time would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, well, to get one of the camos, you need to get 3 kills without dying. I think it's 25 times.
Right.
And 3 kills with the crossbow with the reload speed without dying is more difficult than it sounds.
I was going to say, I imagine that's not very easy.
No, but I've finally done it, and so I've got all the camos unlocked for the pistols now, all camos for the marksman rifles, so I've started on the sniper rifles now.
Nice.
I'm literally going to go through every class of weapon, every weapon, and get all the camos.
So once you've got the camos, they're transferable into Warzone, are they, or not?
Yeah.
So you can go in with the gold camos now in Warzone. Yeah. Awesome.
But to get your own weapons, you need to buy, I think it's like $12,000 to buy a loadout drop.
Right.
And then you could pick one of your custom classes.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
that's
you
cool.
can't just go in with your loadout straight away. Everyone drops in with a pistol, and you've got to find weapons.
Right. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That sounds really cool. I it's a game I need to spend more time in. Is Warzone. I don't play it enough.
Yeah, it's just like Call of Duty is. Yeah, it's an easy game just to drop in and out of.
That's the thing.
It's easier than say Battlefield, because
Battlefield's a bit more involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I can just drop into Call of Duty, spend a few hours, and just come back out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, that's cool stuff. That's really cool. Speaking of challenging, I have gone back to one of my favourite PC games of all time. In my opinion, maybe one of the best FPSs of all time, and that is Blood, the original Blood. And I've decided, because I've played Blood since it came out, and I play it periodically. I have never played it on the really hard difficulties, so I'm going back through Blood, which is already a very punishing game. I think like normal on Blood is like hard on most FPSs. So I've gone back to it. I'm playing it on the harder difficulties, and it's been really fun but really challenging. A lot of saving and like reloading to get through sections. Really, really tough. But Blood is one of, in my opinion, the best shooters of all time, especially on PC. It's just amazing. From the glory days, the late 90s, mid to late 90s. Great fun. So I've been punishing myself with that. But it's been a lot of fun. And also I have returned to the world of Fallout.
Oh,
because I'm getting ready. Hopefully this week I should have a new episode of Icons play for Fallout 4. Because I'm
looking forward to it. The Fallout 3 one was hilarious.
This one's going to be a bit longer actually, because I'm kind of doing the story. So it's gonna be a bit longer, but I've already decided how it's going to end. I just need to get to that point. And then, So, it's going to be fun. And then I will eventually do New Vegas after Fallout 4. I'll do it all out of order, but I will get to New Vegas eventually. But Fallout 4 is next, and hopefully this week I've had so much fun replaying Fallout 4. Way more fun than I remember it being. It's great.
How are you doing with the Minutemen?
I fucked them off as soon as possible. In fact, in the playthrough, I'm like basically ignoring them altogether. I did the first thing for them just to get the power armor, and then after that, I'm like, no, go away. Fuck off,
I just
Preston.
remember on our Fallout episode, you were just
I hate them.
Nope,
I fucking hate them. Yeah, yeah. In fact, I think that I'm gonna probably end up murdering them if I can by the end of this playthrough. I will try.
What happens if you take out all the Minutemen?
Well, I might find out. You might find out by the end of the video. You might find out.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I have recently, yesterday, found a fat man, so that'll come in handy somewhere along the line.
Mini nukes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll come in handy. So I've got my favourite gun in the game now, so that's good. Kellogg's gun is my favourite gun. That hand cannon that Kellogg has.
Oh right, is it a revolver or not?
Yeah, it's a 44 revolver, but it's just awesome. It's great for headshots up close.
I normally I find a hunting rifle as soon as I can.
Hunting rifle for long range for sure, and then modify it with a scope and everything else.
Scope, suppressor, upgrade like the chamber so you can shoot the bigger rounds, more damage. Yep. I rely on that and a laser rifle for up close pretty much. That's pretty much my go-to loadout for Fallout.
No, fair enough, man. I don't tend to do the energy weapons route very often.
They just fire fast and they're pretty accurate.
They do fire very fast. And also, I mean, I just got to the point with... obviously, I've just killed Kellogg, which is when the Institute really get involved. And once the synths are around, there's so much ammo and laser weapons are lying around, like pistols and the laser rifles.
Institute rifles and stuff.
They're everywhere. So they are really handy to keep hold of. Yeah,
well, if I can, I pretty much try and... So if I discover an area, I'll go around, find the best vantage point, and I'll take out everyone with my hunting rifle. Everyone that I can see. And then there's normally only a handful of people left inside, and go in with a laser rifle.
Yeah, totally, man. Yeah, it's
I play as a stealth game. To be fair,
I'm stealthy to a point. The trouble is, it takes a while before you can get the silencers and weaponry to really go a stealth route. You have to be loud to begin with, and then I suppose unless you go the melee route, I suppose you could just sneak up on people and start hitting them over the head. I can never sneak. I guess I need to put more into sneak to do that, because I can never seem to sneak up close enough to someone to hit them without them noticing me.
Sniping.
Yeah, sniping is great fun, especially once you get that silenced sniper. Great. But I'm having a lot of fun. So hopefully that playthrough should be out the end of this week, I reckon. My birthday week.
Oh.
Yes. So have you been playing anything else? In fact, I know you've been playing something else, because we talked about it last weekend on the podcast that never happened. How are you finding Rainbow Six Siege?
Oh, thank God. I was like, what have I been playing?
Yeah, you were playing Siege for a while. So you started Siege, and how did you find it?
Big learning curve.
Yeah.
Very big learning curve compared to Call of Duty.
Mm.
Yeah, because normally in Call of Duty you can take a few shots and sometimes come out on top.
Yeah, not in Rainbow Six.
No.
It is a one-shot kill quite often. If they hit you in the head, you're dead.
It's very tactical, and I like that.
I enjoy that.
The leaning side to side.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to peek around the corridors.
I love using all the mirrors and the wires and stuff, the fiber wire stuff to check under doors and all that stuff. That's cool.
Oh, I haven't got to that yet.
Oh, I assume you can do that in Siege. You could do that in the old Rainbow Six games. You could do the peeking under the doors with those little wire things, the wire cameras.
You might be able to. Obviously, I haven't got my head around all the operators yet and what their specialities are and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm still figuring that out.
You got a lot of bullet penetration and stuff in it as well, haven't you? You can shoot through some walls and wood.
Yeah, I've been shot through walls a few times, and I was like, how did you see me? I have no idea where you are.
They might.
I think sometimes they just shoot randomly at a wall and hope for the best.
They probably do. It strikes me as a kind of game. Because I've not played Siege yet, and I've played a lot of other Rainbow Six games, but not Siege. And it strikes me that you need a team of people on your side that know what they're doing, like you do,
Yeah.
Because I imagine a lot of players just run in and just get killed.
Probably. Well, my first experience playing with it was with my friends Coxie and Butters.
Right.
So they knew what they were doing, and they were just kind of talking me through what to do, what does what. Yeah, during one of the training things, I was shooting at someone, and didn't see my friend run in front of me and I accidentally shot him in the head. Friendly fire's on that at all times. So
yeah.
Sorry.
Oops.
It's really fun. I need to put a few more hours into it to get the hang of it, but so far I like it.
Yeah.
Still, like, Call of Duty is still my go-to FPS just because it's easy and it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah. Fair enough, man. So, have you been playing anything else before we move on?
Oh, there was a free-to-play game that I downloaded to see if it would be any good. Skyforge.
Skyforge? I have not heard of this game.
It's like a fantasy MMO kind of online game.
Right.
Obviously, you pick classes. There's like Cryomancer, Lightbender, and there's loads of others. But the thing is, you can switch class mid-combat.
That's interesting. So how does that work?
There's just obviously you got.
It's just like a button switch.
Yeah, you hold it down and you select like another one.
Right.
And you switch to it for like different enemies, I guess. I haven't got that far into it because it's pretty janky.
Okay. It sounds like an interesting concept, though. So, you kind of, or not like Trine, because Trine, obviously, you have different characters that you switch between. But you effectively have your character, and they're a certain class, and that class can do certain things. But then you have to switch classes to do other things, I guess. So, like, certain classes have different weaknesses and strengths, and you have to kind of switch between them to solve things.
Yeah, this is obviously like the paladin, just sword melee based, just a bit of a tank, and then you can switch to like Cryomancer, which is like ice magic from a distance.
Right.
And was the other one sort of light magic that is just sort of a light support. It can fire fast, but doesn't do too much damage.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll go back to it because I got out of the training area and sort of controls were a bit weird.
Yeah.
Because you have to try and memorize all the bloody combos because it's one attack is like square, triangle, triangle, circle, and it's like, yeah, I'm never going to remember that because there's like 20 other combos.
yeah. There's a lot to remember here.
There's like 20 others for the other classes, so it's just like. I'm not sure if we'll go back to it. It was a bit of fun for a couple of hours.
I mean, when it's free, you might as well give it a go, right? I mean, I get free games on the Epic Store quite often, and I'm like, I'll give them a go. You know, it's worth it. It's free. Why not? And you never know. You may find a classic.
Maybe.
You'll never know unless you try, right? So it's always worth a go. So, Chris, 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, a couple of trailers dropped. But one in particular you've been very excited about, and I think looks absolutely fantastic. And that is Elden Ring.
A new From Software game.
A new From Software game, but a very different From Software game from the looks of it.
Yeah.
From Software obviously made Dark Souls, one of your favourite series of all time.
Oh, do love me some Dark Souls.
You certainly do. This one looks like it's an open world with a lot of choice, which is something that the From Software games don't tend to do. You tend to, although you've got that freedom of movement within a level, you are kind of much more directed. There's like a right and a wrong way to play.
Yeah.
Whereas this looks like
it's open world but linear.
Yes. Whereas this looks like you got options.
I have done a bit more research into it.
Oh, cool.
It is fully open world.
That's awesome.
And the mount you get in the trailer, it's described as like a spirit horse. You can summon it and desummon it at the tap of a button.
That's awesome.
So you can sort of jump up into the air, or like to pounce on some enemies, send your spirit horse away, and then
bring it back.
Go down with an attack, bring it back, and run away.
That's awesome. There's a bit in the trailer as well, isn't there, where you use the spirit horse to basically like climb up a wall. It just looks so cool.
Yeah, and there will be like I don't know how you'd word it, but like special enemies that you can just come across, because they will be
just in the
like,
world.
naturally, yeah, just moving about.
Mm-hmm.
So there'd be like active encounters, or I don't know how you'd put it.
Yeah.
But also in the trailer where you see those two like giant things pulling the big chest.
Yeah.
Apparently there's more than one of them, and they just roam around.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so it is like a much more open world experience.
We'll also have a day and night cycle and weather.
That's awesome, and hopefully that'll affect combat. That would be really cool. Like if weather affected combat, that would be awesome.
And the day and night cycles means you can choose a stealthier option, because in some of the art and like stills that they've put up as screenshots, you're the main character behind one of those big chests, obviously with loads of like hollows trailing behind it, and he's crouched in some long grass at night. So
that's
thinking
cool.
There's going to be a stealth aspect of when it's night. It looks amazing.
It does, and one of the things that really strikes me with this game in particular is the art style, man. The art style of this game just looks amazing. Some of the creatures they've created, like that butterfly dragon, looks so awesome. That giant dragon with the butterfly wings, and that hand thing, the thing with the fingers, looks so creepy.
Yeah. Like the big night thing that comes down and it's got like hands for a head.
Yeah, it's like some real like Lovecraftian nightmare.
Soulsy kind of
yes
art style,
and that's the thing. Modernized and a different game, but hopefully it'll be. I'm hoping for, personally, a Dark Souls experience in terms of the difficulty and the strategy.
Yeah.
But with way more options, you know, in terms of how I choose to approach an enemy or an area. I like having options, and I think this could be like the best thing ever. If they manage to do this right, if we get an open world Dark Souls like game, this could be amazing.
And they did say there is multiplayer, but I don't know if it's going to be the Souls multiplayer, like drop in or summon friends.
Yeah.
Or because I think a fully online multiplayer game wouldn't work.
No. I guess it would be like co-op, like you said. People can drop into your game, or you could start a game together.
Yeah, that would be good. Because fully online, there's going to be too many people. It kind of ruins the Souls experience, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it generally always feels like it should be like a solo thing, doesn't it? Dark Souls, it's kind of you against the insurmountable odds. But I think co-op could be really fun, especially in an open world. Especially if it's that difficulty, because you could like share tactics together and come up with the best way to defeat an enemy. It'd be nice if it scales as well, so like the enemies become tougher if you've got multiple people, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because Dark Souls does that already.
Oh, does it? Okay, I've never played Dark Souls co-op, so I've never known.
Yeah, if their health goes up slightly, obviously there's no numbers, so you don't see it. But
yeah, sure.
Some bosses are a lot harder with like summons than they are on their own.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, I love the design of this game. I'm looking at the trailer right now, and it's just like this. This looks great. The art design is so cool. It looks like you can summon creatures as well.
Yeah, there is creature summoning. I'm not sure how it works, but there's also like human spirit summoning.
Right.
Because I watched like an in-depth breakdown of
the trailer.
Yeah. There like the weapon art as well. Like, you know, in the trailer he like attacks and then does a flip backwards. Mm-hmm. Apparently, not unlike in Dark Souls where different weapons have different weapon art.
Yeah.
Like, or like attack movements.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they're going to be interchangeable, so you can do like that slash and backflippy move with any weapon.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and there's one move I saw in one of the trailers where he like sort of kind of like swishes down on his side and like whips his sword round, which is I think the moveset for the Farron Greatsword in Dark Souls 3.
Oh, okay. So they're kind of bringing some of those styles into the game.
Oh, definitely. Well, with the monster designs and everything, the weapon. If you've got weapon attack movements that work, then why not?
Do we know if this game is set in the Dark Souls universe, or is it completely separate? Because you're right, the designs look like they're straight from Dark Souls. To be honest,
I think it's going to be completely
separate. Yeah,
because this all has to do with like in Dark Souls, you feel like the undead working towards being like a lord.
Yeah.
In this, the way they said it in the trailer, it sounds like obviously you're the tarnished, and it sounds like you're fighting for like a lordship kind of a sense of presence that you used to have.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's all to do with that tree, which is like representative of the tree of life and stuff. So. It's going to have to be a completely different universe to the Dark Souls universe.
Yeah.
Because, it just wouldn't go.
It looks...
Not with the lore that's already around for Dark Souls.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing, I suppose. They don't want to mess with the existing lore of Dark Souls. Because the Dark Souls series, as we said before on this show, like, if you just look at Dark Souls, you can just see it as like a really tough game and it's just a dungeon crawler. But there's a surprising amount of lore in Dark Souls if you look for it. If you read all the stuff and if you get involved in the game, there's quite deep lore.
And if you like really focus on the opening cinematics and the story they're telling, you can take a lot from that.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to Elden Ring.
It looks awesome, man.
The arts from Software, they're not going to go away from that kind of like monster.
It's what they do, right? It's what they do.
It's their art style. Because even like Bloodborne, which isn't part of the Souls series, it's got that art style, those kind of like grotesque monsters. They're good at it, so I don't think they'd go away from it, which is good because I like that style of thing. Because you look at it and towering above you, like, holy crap, how am I going to do this?
Totally, and I was going to say I wouldn't want them to get rid of it because it is such a cool style, and it's just their style, and that's fine.
Yeah, because if you take away that style and just put it with like normal people, then that's just an Elder Scrolls game, really, isn't it? A really hard Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, totally. And that's the thing. This art style really sets it apart from the competition. Really, it looks great. I'm really excited for Elden Ring.
21st of January, 2022.
Mark it down. Make it happen.
It's in my calendar.
Oh, nice. So, the other game we had a trailer for the other day, or the other week now, was Battlefield. We have a new Battlefield.
Battlefield 2042.
Mm-hmm. And this one is not fucking about. We're back to just straight up crazy over the top mayhem. It looks like a lot of fun.
So good though.
It really does. I'm a fan of the Battlefield series. I was a big fan of the first and second game, and then the Bad Company ones were quite fun, and I really enjoyed 4. No, 3. 3 was at 3, 4.
3 and 4 are really good.
I've not played much of 5 at all.
It's 5 is really good, but obviously it's another like World War II one, and I'm a bit tired of World War II games. I like my modern weapons.
Sure, yeah, and this is a return to that. So it's near future and
futuristic, but not over the top like some of the Call of Duties have done.
Not too futuristic. It's
Well, in the trailer, there's that little. It kind of looks like a robot dog with a cannon on the back, which isn't actually like completely out of.
No, it's not crazy. That's not crazy tech. That kind of thing is probably doable now if we wanted to, So it's not a crazy.
But
crazy.
The weather they put in, like weather and natural disasters now can happen mid-game.
I love that. That was one of my favorite. When did they introduce that? Was that 4? They introduced that when you could bring the building down in the middle of the map or whatever, and it changed the sort of way the game was played.
I think.
And then one of them, there's like a storm or a tsunami or something that happens in one of the levels, and it changes the map.
Yeah, it might be 4, but I know you've always had building destruction. Even in the even Battlefield 3, you could destroy. Yeah, you could destroy certain buildings.
Certain buildings, But this one's going all out. I mean, there's like a hurricane in the middle of this one, and there's like a rocket
Tornado
taking off. Yeah, a tornado in the city. It looks awesome, man. It looks so much fun. And like you said, it's nice to be back in the modern or near future setting.
Oh, definitely. And the graphics, the major step up. They look amazing.
It looks stunning. Yeah.
I really can't wait to play that either. It's going to be so good.
I think it'll be a hell of a lot of fun. I'm very excited for it.
I'll definitely get into it more than I got into 5 because it's obviously
it's more. It's the setting you want.
Yeah, it's the setting I want, and yeah, they're bringing back the building destruction. I don't think there was much of that in 5, if at all.
I didn't play it, so yeah, I really don't know.
Which is a shame because I used to love just like blowing down a wall and just storming in where people are like aiming at the windows. I just blow up the wall behind them and run in.
Yeah,
so much fun.
Yeah,
they're bringing back more vehicles as well because I know 5 does have some vehicles, but they're bringing back like the fighter jets, tanks, little ATVs and stuff. They're bringing all of it back like they did in 3 and 4.
And that's what you want. I mean, that's why I play Battlefield. Is because I don't want. I just don't just want on foot. Battlefield is about everything happening at once. So you've got people on foot, you've got jeeps, tanks, you've got the helicopters flying around, you've got jets fighting each other in the sky. That's what Battlefield is to me. It's all of the components, and I think without all of that multi-layered different vehicular combat and on foot combat, that's really what defines Battlefield for me. So I'm glad that we're back to that kind of crazy action.
Did you see on the trailer where there's the 2 planes are having a dogfight? One of the guys jumps out of his plane, shoots the guy in the other plane, and lands back in his plane.
Yeah, now how easy that's going to be to do, I do not know, but that looks awesome.
They definitely know their audience because a lot of people do jump out of like aircraft, shoot someone in another aircraft. Enter. They definitely know their audience and their players.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. We're not looking for realism here. We're looking for just a fun sandbox, multiplayer experience, right? Where you could do stupid things like that, and that's going to be really fun.
I did install Battlefield 4 the other day and gave it a bit of a go, and it hasn't really aged particularly that well.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
I don't know if my game was like glitching out or something, but when I zoomed in on a sniper, it was obviously like a small like circle in the middle of the screen, and the rest of it was black instead of like normal games where it's like most of the screen and a bit black around the corners. Yeah. It's like this tiny circle in the middle, and I was like, I don't remember this, but
that's interesting. No, I don't remember that either.
And it's full of really, really sweaty lobbies.
Yes, I can imagine. But yeah, Battlefield 6, I guess this is now. Looks.
I think so. Yeah.
Looks like a lot of fun. I just love how unashamedly silly the trailer is. It just makes me happy. It's like, no, we're gonna have some fun again. We're back to just having fun.
I really can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, man. So, have you been up to anything else? Playing anything else?
No, just Squadrons, bit of Call of Duty, bit of Battlefield.
Yeah, that's cool, man. We're going to need a topic for next time. Have you got a topic in mind? As always, probably not, but I always ask. It's always worth asking.
Not off the top of my head.
Something will come up. It always does. We should put it out to people again. If you guys want to pick a topic for us to cover, we will cover it. Again, we are.
I will actually put a post out on my
Oh yeah, you're unbanned now, right?
Yes, I'm out of Facebook jail.
Yeah.
That's why I posted some photos from my holiday.
Yeah, you've been catching up on all the photos that you weren't allowed to post. Chris was in Facebook jail for a while, but he's back now. So he will post, I will post, and pick a topic for us. And again, a huge thank you to everyone that came to the stream. We are back now, fortnightly from now on, and we will be doing more lives because that was a lot of fun.
We will be back fortnightly. If we don't lose this recording.
We won't lose this recording. This one's staying forever. I'm gonna make a copy of it immediately after this, just in case, so it'll be safe. But thank you for listening, everybody. Stay safe, and we will be back in a fortnight with a topic that you can choose. So let us know. Anyway, take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.